So we are just a few days out from the 2023 Arnold Classic in Men's Classic Physique. I'm going to give you guys all you need to know about the show, when to tune in, who to watch out for, and my picks to win. Stay tuned, guys. Hey, what's good, everybody? My name is Brent. You're watching the Classic Physique Collective. Your home for the best classic coverage on YouTube. You can also find me on Instagram here at CPC Bodybuilding. Today, I got a special video for you guys. We got the 2023 Arnold Classic coming up here in just a few days, and I am very excited because this year it is a little bit more interesting than in previous years, I think, simply because of the stacked lineup we got. There's only 7 guys here in this lineup, but each one of these guys is an Olympian. We've got another rematch between Erds and Ramon. We've got a former Arnold Classic winner in Alex Campanero, and a lot of guys who are on the rise in bodybuilding. So, going to be a great show. As far as show details, what you guys need to know is that the whole Classic Physique show is going to be on Friday, March 3rd. So prejudging is going to start at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and finals will begin at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. There might be a little bit of variability in terms of when they go on stage, but just know you need to tune in at about 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for finals. So if you are going to the Arnold Classic, you probably already have your tickets. If you are tuning in at home, go buy that live stream. I will put that in my description so you guys can purchase it. So the live stream is $50. So my advice would be to get some of your buddies and I'll just pitch in on it. Make sure you guys catch this Arnold Classic because you're not going to want to miss it. We're down to 7 guys. These guys are all Olympians, a very talented and deep lineup here. So we're going to start with the lineup, and then I'm going to get into my picks. All right, so the 2023 Arnold Classic lineup in Men's Classic Physique. We got Urs Kalaczynski out of Germany, just finished 3rd at the Mr. Olympia in Classic Physique. Going to be battling for that top spot. Alex Campanero out of Costa Rica. He is the only reigning Arnold Classic champion here. He won the Arnold in 2020. Now we got Ramon Dino, who's probably the favorite heading into this show. He just finished 2nd at the Mr. Olympia out of Brazil. Next up, Courage Opara. Courage won 2 pro shows last year, qualified for the Olympia, but did not do the Olympia. And we got Mike Sommerfeld, who was already qualified for the Olympia, won the Saudi Classic just a few weeks ago. And Jason Brown, who we last saw at the Texas State Pro last year, took 2nd. And then Junior Jaworski out of Brazil. Junior just did his first Olympia last year, so a very stacked lineup here, guys. All right, y'all, so I'm going to give you my picks and tell you who to watch out for, kind of the matchups we're looking for in this very stacked show. So in 7th place, I've got Junior Jaworski out of Brazil. Junior's got a big frame, very classic look, clean lines. He's a very tall guy, probably the tallest guy in this lineup, a 2022 Olympian. I think his best shots are his front shots, but when he turns to the side and the back, that's where he kind of shows his weakness, which is probably density. He's got a lot of width, but not necessarily density to go with it. And the guy in 6th place, I think, is going to expose him when they turn around and compare the back shots, and that's Jason Brown. I really like Jason Brown from the back. Probably has one of the best posterior chains. What do I mean by posterior chain? That is your back, your hamstrings, your glutes, and your calves. So I think Jason Brown has one of the best posterior chains in all of Classic Physique, not just this lineup. And when he and Junior Jaworski are compared from the back, Jason is going to win by a large margin. So from the front and the side, they're very comparable. I would probably actually give Junior the edge from the front, very similar from the side, maybe slight edge to Jason. But I think Jason will really expose Junior from the back and is going to play 6th because of that. They're both bigger guys, but I think Jason is a matchup nightmare for Junior. So things really get interesting in this lineup when we get to my top 5, because all of the guys in this top 5 are guys who have placed in the top 10 in the Olympia multiple times. And especially in the 3 to 5 range, these guys have different strengths and also are at different points in their career and are on different trajectories. So in 5th place, I have your 2020 Arnold Classic champion, Alex Cambronero. He's just coming off a 9th place finish at the Mr. Olympia this past year, and he's 46 years old. That is crazy, guys. So he's at the point in his career where he's not necessarily putting on size, but he's just refining and building details in his physique. So Alex has great structure and great shape. Though he is a shorter guy, I think he can stand with most of these guys when it comes to the actual classic structure of his physique. Probably the one thing that's going to hold him back is he's not quite as big as the rest of these guys. He will come in very sharp. His coach Neil Hill always brings him in shape. But I do think Alex is kind of at the point of his career where he can only do so much when a lot of these other guys are on the upward trend. They're putting on mass and they have very full, round, bubbly physiques, which kind of goes against what Alex has right now. As you get older, you lose a little bit of pop to your muscle and perhaps have to rely on the detail a little bit more, as well as the conditioning. So I think Alex Cambronero, though he will be in 5th place, is going to definitely fight for that 3rd or 4th spot as well. He's going to be battling with these guys that I have there in those spots. So Alex Cambronero in 5th. In 4th place, I have Courage Opara. And I think 3rd and 4th, it's a toss-up to me, because Courage is just so complete from a bodybuilding standpoint. He has no weak body parts. I think probably his one vulnerable pose is actually one that he compares very favorably with the guy in 3rd. So Courage is probably the densest guy in this entire lineup with the exception of Ramon Dino. But Courage from the side does not necessarily have the biggest hamstrings. From the back, I think his hamstrings are great. But from the side, I don't know if it's a posing thing or if it's the way his physique is structured, the insertion of the muscle. I think his hamstrings from the side could be a little bit better. But what Courage brings is a lot of pop to his muscle, and he usually comes in great condition. He works with Ray Baker, brings a very polished stage presence, and I think Courage is probably the most underrated guy in this entire lineup. And I think it's going to be a battle with this guy who we've got in 3rd, and that is Mike Sommerfeld, who is fresh off a win at the Saudi Classic. He probably didn't even come in at 100% at that show. He works with Neil Hill, who also coaches Alex Cambronero. And really, Mike has one of the prettiest structures in all of bodybuilding. His front shots are incredible, especially the front lat spread. Probably the best front lat spread with the exception of Chris Bumstead. And Mike is on the upward trend in his career. It seems like he's only getting better. He just improved a few places from 7th to 5th this year at the Olympia. So he is definitely making up some ground. He has actually beaten Urs Kalashinsky before, so I think that's something to also note here as well. So I think the one vulnerability that Mike probably has is conditioning. He comes in shape and he's peeled the vast majority of the time, but I do think there is a little bit more room for him to push harder in terms of conditioning, especially from the back. From the front, he looks very solid. His abs are always dialed in. You can see the details and the striations in the quads. But when he turns around, sometimes he looks a bit watery through the back as well as the glutes and the hamstrings. And that's purely either a genetic thing or, you know, some people have certain body parts that they struggle to really get super, super lean and dry. And I think that's probably just the case here for Mike. Courage could probably attack that weakness there because Courage is so complete, especially from the back. So I've got Mike Sommerfeld in 3rd place. Now, the ultimate matchup that we're going to be looking for is Urs versus Ramon. And a lot of people are wondering, can Ramon continue the trend from which he has beat Urs twice in a row? Urs beat Ramon in their first matchup at the 2021 Olympia, but at the 2022 Arnold Classic and the 2022 Olympia, Ramon beat Urs. So what I think is going to be the most interesting here is just seeing what difference Urs can bring from the Olympia, because it was pretty clear that Ramon was second place this year at the Olympia. And it's very challenging to make improvements in just 3 months, which is how long ago the Olympia was. You can't really add muscle in 3 months. Some people believe you can. I personally do not believe that. It takes more time. And especially when you are hitting a rebound for that short of a period and then you have to go immediately back into a prep to get stage lean, you're probably not going to put on any significant amount of tissue. And I believe what Urs is going to have to do to beat Ramon is come in fuller than he was at the Olympia, because what the difference at the Olympia was the pop and the fullness and the density that we saw from Ramon. That's what differentiated him from Urs. They both came in super peeled, in shape, dialed in. But what really got Ramon the victory was he just looked bigger and fuller than Urs did. And I think that's attributed to the fact that Ramon is a denser bodybuilder than Urs and probably has fewer vulnerabilities and weaknesses than Urs does. But I think Urs could probably experiment a little bit and make up some ground by coming in fuller. Because I do know that Urs has some room to work with in that weight cap. He could probably play around, carb up a little bit harder like he did at Kuwait last year, and bring a fuller look and maybe give Ramon a little bit more of a challenge. So I think what we're going to see here is Urs in second place and Ramon will take the victory. I think Ramon Dino is going to win the 2023 Arnold Classic. But I do think Urs is going to win the best poser, which will definitely put some money in his pocket and I think is very well deserved if he does win it. So those are my predictions here for the 2023 Arnold Classic, guys. You heard it here. I've got Ramon Dino taking it home to Brazil. I want to know what you guys think. Who do you think is going to win the Arnold Classic? Tell me down in the comments. Make sure you like and share this video for the algorithm. Also, if you like this video and want more classic content, subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Instagram at CPC Bodybuilding. I want to thank you guys all for watching another video from the Classic Physique Collective. Keep it classic, guys. See ya.